Different. How often do we get to talk about something truly new and different? This is a 2022 Genesis GV70, a new crossover from Hyundai's luxury brand. And it enters the luxury compact crossover segment that's been dominated by European brands. You know the names: Audi Q5, Mercedes GLC, BMW X3. So what makes the GV70 stand apart? And what are the key things you need to know about it? Let's find out. While we're here, be sure to hit like and don't forget to subscribe so you can see all of our Edmunds videos like this one. Head on over to Edmunds.com for all of your car shopping needs, and if you need to get a cash offer on your car right now, go to Edmunds.com/sellmycar. So here's the skinny on the GV70. It's a larger version of the G70 sedan, just raised and built out to resemble a compact crossover. Think of the BMW X3's relation to the 3 Series or the GLC to the C-Class, if that helps. It comes with your choice of the 2 turbocharged engines from the larger GV80 SUV. That means there's a 4-cylinder with 300 horsepower or a V6 with 375 horsepower. Now, we haven't gotten to drive the GV70 yet, but generally speaking, if you put a bigger engine in a smaller car, that makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Now, on both the 4-cylinder and the V6, there are various trim levels that you can choose from, and they escalate in luxury as you go up. This one is a pre-production model, but it's built to very closely resemble the V6 Sport Prestige, which is top of the line. We don't know pricing yet, but Genesis tends to undercut the Germans, so we're expecting the GV70 to start around $38,000. This one, however, will probably be closer to $50,000. Now that we're inside the GV70, first of all, check out the audacity of this dashboard. Designed to look like one piece, and then it just swoops up in this huge dramatic shape right in front of you and really frames the gauges in the driver display really nicely. In fact, all of the panels in the interior just feel like they're one piece, like stretched and pulled like leather taffy and fitted over these dramatic curves. Another cool element is this oval feature in the middle here, and you can't see it, but it extends to the other side as well. And it keeps all of the controls nice and constrained and within reach, but it also adds a really interesting visual element that's unique to the GV70. It's not on any other Genesis models. I also want to talk about these screens. The central one is more than 14 inches and is really clear and vibrant, and you move it around using this dial. Very simple, very easy to use, very straightforward, which some of the other controls in other Genesis models are not. And in front of the driver, the digital gauges display is more than 12 inches, and it has a 3D element to it. So there's a lot of depth to the gauges, the little icons, and all the information that it's showing you, and that sets it apart from other entries in the segment. But it wouldn't be an SUV walkthrough without hopping in the back, so let's check it out. In the back of the GV70, we get to address one of the main concerns we had about this crossover before we got to take a look, and that is rear space for passengers. In the G70 sedan, on which this is based, rear legroom is pretty tight. In the GV70, there is definitely more space, but one of the issues we've noticed is the door openings are pretty small, and this is also true of the front. The doors don't open very wide and they're kind of tight, so you kind of have to lift your legs up and duck at the same time to get in. Now, I'm 6 feet tall. Everybody might not have this problem, and if kids are going to be back here often, probably not a problem for them, but it is something to think about when we know the quality of things like the Q5 and the BMW X3. That's not a problem you're going to have in those vehicles. On a positive note, the build quality back here is impeccable. There's a really nice soft headliner. There's not very much plastic back here at all. All of these materials are really well finished and just as visually interesting and fun to touch. Look at this, all the tons of switches and knobs and really nice stuff. It's just as well done as the front is, and that's not always the case in vehicles like this. For passengers in the back, they can move the passenger seat up with these buttons on the side of the seat to create more space. There's a huge panoramic sunroof. The seats feel great. Just a very nice passenger experience. A lot of the equipment we've seen on this GV70 is going to be optional when the car actually goes on sale. So let's talk about some standard features. First, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are all standard on all GV70s, but they are not wireless, wired only. Another cool feature is a fingerprint ID system right next to the steering wheel where you just press your finger to it and it will automatically load things like your driver profile and can even operate functions like putting the car in valet mode, things like that. Seems pretty nifty. And then there are things in terms of value, which frankly is one of Genesis's calling cards, especially when you're competing in this segment. Some of the things that the GV70 comes with are 5 years, unlimited miles of roadside assistance, which is pretty remarkable. And then there's a unique valet service program where Genesis dealers will come to your house, pick up the car when it's scheduled for maintenance, bring it in and perform it for free, leave you a loaner car, and then bring your car back when it's done. And that is standard not only on GV70s, but in fact on all Genesis models. Pretty impressive for a luxury car. Given that we've only had a short time to make brief introductions with the GV70 today, it's difficult to assess how it will rank against its competition in the segment. Yes, we really like the engines that are available here, but the GV70 will have to have a better overall driving experience than the GV80 did to really impress us. Now, if this can drive like the G70 sedan on which it's based, then the GV80 could find itself in rare air very quickly. The issue with brand new models is that there are a lot of unknowns, and this is competing in a segment with names like Audi, BMW, and Mercedes that are very known quantities. But it's clear that Genesis is shooting for the moon here, and the GV70 is just starting to chart its own course. But after getting my hands on it and seeing up close how Genesis is coming out of the gate with this is definitely a model worth keeping your eye on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to see more just like it.